I was born in 1983. I come from a time where kids could compete in field days and would only be given a ribbon for first, second, and third place. A time where we could play Red Rover on the playground and dodgeball in school. I've won a handful of ribbons in my life. The best skip-it score in elementary school, work competitions, and getting divorced. I'm not what you would call a regular competitor. When it comes to video games, I played on and off since I can remember. Being born in '83, I was only allowed to play for 1 hour a week on a Super Nintendo, and we only owned like 3 games at the time, games with no autosaves. When my brother would write the codes on his wall of his room, because my parents said it was okay to paint it whatever color he wanted, and he chose game codes. As I grew older, I set the games aside and became a crafter, an equally expensive, time-consuming hobby. Not only because I liked doing it, but because there was a constant stigma growing up that video games were a waste of time. You weren't going to accomplish anything in life by playing games, and you certainly weren't going to spend your summer vacation playing them every day. But now, it's 2025. Well, at least at the time of filming this, it's 2025. And the video game space is bigger than ever before. Practically everyone I know has access to some sort of video game, whether or not they choose to play them. There's even studies being done surrounding the major benefits of playing video games. I'm an adult with adult money to spend, and I still craft things on occasion, but I find myself gravitating towards The Sims 4. I have played over 1,000 hours in that game, written several challenges, and continued to post regular Sim Center content on YouTube for 4 years. My goal? To be the 90-year-old simmer. I do play other games as well, but at this point in time, it's purely for fun. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have it even as a part-time career someday. Maybe even today, if you like and subscribe to this video, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your cat. But until then, it's just another outlet for my creative headspace. So even though I have some sim challenges running and I'm used to thinking about strategy, rules, chaos upsetting those rules, I haven't really taken on a challenge of this magnitude. Part of what spurred me to make this decision was noticing that my primary console of choice these days was in fact Xbox. Gone were the days of saving 3 paychecks just to get a PlayStation to jam Parappa and Kingdom Hearts 3. I've also been noticing a decline in my attention span lately. Often I found myself reaching for my phone and scrolling through whatever site I happened to choose at the time, and before I know it, hours have gone by, and I've consumed all of everything and nothing all at once. So I have been pushing myself harder. Even if I'm playing a game instead of scrolling, I figured that's got to use more of my brain than just watching something for 2 minutes and moving on. And as with any good challenge, what works for me is setting some personal goals. I did purchase some games for this challenge, but I was determined to make it worth the prize. Should I by some miracle win this thing? So in total, I only spent about $40 on games that would help me boost my overall score. Now, I have a library of things I bought, just waiting to be played. So in this case, I decided that I would only purchase games that I want to play. That means you're not going to see any Sonic the Fighters or Don't Starve Giant Edition here. But Fit My Cat, you will most certainly see that. The last goal I set for myself is to pull all the achievements in The Sims 4. With cheats, of course. If I can cheat to get it, you know I will. I'm not playing 80 plus hours just to get Alphabet Legacy, you know what I mean? How many cooked cakes even is that? Oh yeah, and one more thing. This video that you're watching right now, this is something that I wanted to make for the challenge to talk about my experience.
Tell me more, like what's your gamer score?
June it started. Fresh reset. The playing field is even. I'm brand new to this challenge stuff, like first day on the job energy. Imagine showing up to a raid in World of Warcraft with no armor, no strategy, and asking, so what's DPS? Yeah, that's me. Except I know what DPS is because I'm a giant nerd. But hey, 0 is a clean number. 0 is just waiting to become 100. So there I was, armed with nothing but main character delusion, a pocket full of memes, and the audacity to think I could survive this. Welcome to Resident Evil Make Room for Stuff Simulator. That not good enough action for ya? How about packing sushi into boxes, where you can get an achievement just by spinning your sushi 1,000,000 times in each direction while you try to figure a puzzle out. Maybe you wanted something less logical, something that feels like a fever dream you had at 3 a.m. after eating Taco Bell. Excuse me, Mr. Mushroom, I'm gonna need you to back up if I'm gonna learn any science today. But just when you thought gaming couldn't get any more unhinged, it happens, because nothing screams historical accuracy like a man with 300 pounds of armor doing triple backflips while shotgunning demons with a weapon that grinds the skulls of your enemies into ammunition. Yes, the year is 2025 and Doom Guy is now a knight, which means somewhere some historian is crying while gamers are chanting, "Rip and tear, but make it Renaissance fair." 3 of us were just setting off from the starting line. That's right. One brave soul hit the eject button before the pistol could even sound. So there we were, taking our time and saving our energy for what was to come. And I decided to contract a mystery illness.
It's June 7th, and I'm in second place by 55 points. I decided I was gonna get sick. Throw a little, excitement.
Like the millennial I am, I laced up my worn-out Converse and took a spin through my favorite Life is Strange game. I definitely did not graffiti my dead dream dad's car. And I gotta say, Chloe Price? That girl with the rock star hair, rebellious attitude, and a permanent frown? I don't hate Chloe Price any less. Spoilers. The week came and went, all of us still waiting for the right moment to sprint ahead Roadrunner style, leaving a cloud of dust in our wake. Once the Wheel of Chaos delivered Doom, the Dark Ages, it decided to gift us all with only Game Pass games, which in theory gave us access to over 300 console games. I myself took this time to play some that I had been waiting to check out. Games that may require me to look over a guide to make sure that I don't miss anything. Older games that paved the way for game design of the future. And some that needed a little bit more time in the development room. I treated myself to a few easy completions along the way. Filled an entire sticker book, played Keepy Uppy 1,000,000 times, learned why the road was out by talking to a moose or whoever that character was because I was too distracted by this banger of a song getting stuck in my head.
Bumping, move, bing, bumping.
So there I was, eyes bloodshot from staring at the screen and fingers aching like I just survived a particularly aggressive thumb war. And for what? Barbie Project Friendship, the game that promised friendship, fun, and sweet satisfaction of 100% completion. I completed every quest. I talked to every NPC. I thought I was a champion. I was the chosen one. I felt like Neo in The Matrix. Except of dodging bullets, I was dodging dialogue options like a pro. And then it happened. One achievement was missing. One. That tiny, insignificant little pixel of validation that I had literally earned with my soul. Barbie Project Friendship has cheated me. Cheated me out of the sweet, sweet dopamine hit that a fully completed game will give you. And honestly, I think it knew. I think you knew, Barbie. So now I live in torment because I think that when Jeffrey Landgrab showed up and said something like, "Good job, Barbie. Now I am most definitely not going to turn this beach and music venue and shopping mall and skateboard shop into a sweet parking lot. You can do any of the quests that you missed along the way and get all the outfits for your sweet, sweet wardrobe." It was a lie. I needed to complete all the quests first. So now I live in quiet torment, haunted by one achievement that got away, while my Game Pass subscription watches silently, judging me. It's time to make sure that I got my money's worth. After all, I had purchased some games specifically for this challenge, like Agatha Knife. I even got to play a game that I was jealous my friend had managed to get because it was a limited time release. Imagine how excited I was to find someone selling it on Facebook Marketplace for only $5.
Oh my god, you guys, this comes with the 48-hour free Xbox Live Gold trial. The Give the Gift of Beef BK Crown card. Are those still a thing? Oh my god, this is just as great as I remember. Maybe even better, you guys. Maybe. How do you not slam dunk right there, bro?
But the real underrated hero here is Ballatron. You're a ball. You bounce. You destroy stuff. Riveting. Only it actually is. There's something so satisfying about watching the entire puzzle explode and cheering when the two balls you didn't think were going to hit each other do, even if you got to set the controller down for a good minute and a half. Now, because I knew there was a chance that I might not be able to complete one of the goals I set before the challenge started, cause the Wheel of Chaos, I decided it was probably a good idea to work on that as well. This being a 10-year-old game, some of the families that I loaded in from the gallery were not the best with which to complete the game quickly, and in true Noisy Face fashion, I couldn't resist using a few that were not part of the walkthrough at all.
Look, sometimes you just gotta load in Shrek into The Sims to help you get trophies. That's all I'm saying.
The experience was exactly what I would expect from The Sims 4. Funny, time-consuming, and glitched out.
Somebody fight that burglar. Somebody fight them.
Now, if I were to ask you, what are the odds that Noisy Face got cheated out of 2 trophies during this challenge? You would say, well, you'd probably say likely, because why else would I put a transition like that in this video? And you'd be right. Because while I was working on leveling up careers, I decided I would try to get the Channel Surfer achievement.
So I gotta go to the radio or the television. I gotta watch all the channels. I gotta listen to all the stations so I can get enough money to get on the Pimp-Ass Disney train. Why would you want the stereo and the TV on at the same time?
I like to party.
So there I go, buying extra TVs in order to gut them for parts so I could get the sweet super radio that had all the stations, trying with each sim in the house while I worked on other things, trying this with one sim that I locked in a house, and nothing happened. The achievement didn't pop. Now, at this point, this wasn't just an achievement, this is a lifestyle choice, a test of willpower. Like how when you play Elden Ring or any game like that and you suck and people say, "Get good," The Sims 4 says, "Get comfy, loser, this trophy is never unlocking." Week 4. The scoreboard looks like it's been frozen in carbonite. Nobody's budging. You think by now somebody would have pulled a sneaky power move like grinding Avatar Last Airbender, the Burning Earth. Oh, wait. Wait, I did that. Somewhere, a child in a black hoodie whispers, "This is my year," but the score stays flat, level, balanced, as Thanos intended. The wheel spun for the week and landed me right back on The Sims 4.
Look, sometimes you just gotta load in Luigi so you can woohoo rich lady ghosts.
You know that game that I had already been playing for hours?
Oh, boo. Do we keep trying for a baby?
Since it was one of my personal challenges that I added to the wheel, I wasn't too upset. Believe me though, This was just the calm before the storm, the calm in which I took the time to find cats. Oh, stinky, stinky. And more cats. We're on to the metro, hitting kittens level. Riding on the metro. And more cats. So this big fat cat sign doesn't count? It's just there for shits and giggles? Okay. So many cats. Is this cat getting mauled by a pigeon? Someone tell me. Because we already knew that one of our players was sitting on a $1,000 stack of games ready to cash in. The Great Gamer Score Gauntlet, 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 Gauntlet. A digital blood sport where I was ready to play anything and everything, no matter how cursed, no matter how janky. By this point, strategy was gone. It wasn't about playing your favorite titles anymore. Oh no, it was a full-blown minute-to-win-it montage. Cooking simulators? Sure. Shovelware with graphics that looked like rejected PS2 cutscenes? Why not? If it had achievements, it was on the table. It was less like gaming and more like speed dating with bad indie titles on clearance. Then the shocker. One player conceded. It's 9:51 in the morning and Corbinzilla has messaged Paladevin and said, hey, I don't have enough to beat you. The crowd gasped. We'll see if that holds though, and I'm gonna try to come in second. I'm not stopping. If he thinks I'm stopping, I'm not stopping. In the end, I clawed my way to second place. Respectable, honorable. The silver medal of this digital Olympics. But let's be real. Second place is basically the Luigi of victories. Fun, iconic, but always slightly overshadowed. I would have liked to chase that top spot to the bitter end. Second isn't bad. It's not the throne, but it's a pretty comfy seat at the table. And if history has taught us anything, it's that sometimes the runner-up is the real winner. So the Great Gaming Challenge of June came to an end. 4 players, 4 different backgrounds, ages, and experience levels, brought together not by destiny, but by the strange gravitational pull of achievements and bragging rights. Who needs the Avengers when you've got a squad united by Gamerscore? We played everything, and I do mean everything. Some games were epic, sweeping journeys. Others were visual novels where writers, artists, and composers poured their soul into crafting intricate worlds and complex characters just so we could hammer the skip button like it owed us money. Now, there were rules, of course, sacred laws that held the challenge together. Chief among them, no Resident Evil. Hi. Don't mind me in your personal space. Not because we didn't love it, but because that franchise is like steroids in the Olympics. Too powerful, too iconic. Like showing up to the potato sack race in a Ferrari. And while the points, the victories, the leaderboard shifts were fun, the real story wasn't about who won. It was about the way this odd little challenge pulled 4 people from 4 different walks of life into the same orbit. Like a weirdly wholesome Hunger Games, minus death. We laughed together, grinded together, and at the end of it all, we weren't just competitors. We were co-competitors in a noble art of squeezing joy out of pixels and imaginary points. June ended. The challenge ended. But what we built, a strange cocktail of camaraderie, trash talk, and appreciation for games nobody asked for, stays with us. Because in the end, the biggest achievement unlocked was friendship.
Step